as they are sent on their way. This semi-final has some amount of quality. The defending champion, Adike Reynolds, last year's bronze medalist, Shanicia Bryant of Barbados, Deschanel Thomas fourth in the 400 meters last night, having taken the bronze medal in that event a year ago, the Kititian.
This one is nicely bunched, heading down the back straight.
Annalisa Brown of Grenada also in the mix, the Guyanese blucher.
Reynolds is starting to separate herself from the pack just a little bit, but they're not allowing her to quite get away at this point, at least.
Yeah, she knows there is some amount of quality in this semi-final, so she doesn't want to give them a chance, and that's why she's made the pace pretty brisk. She's gone to the front and determined to front run. They come through the first 400 meters. Now this is a sensible pace, 106.5 for Adike Reynolds. Looks like the Guyanese who is holding second position at this stage. Akila Blucher with Deschanel Thomas of St. Kitts and Nevis in third. The Barbadian well down Shanicia Bryant with a lot of work to do, but she starts to move forward.
Top three will advance, next two best times. So there's a lot of work to be done for those two young ladies fighting it out for fourth. They'll want to try to move up in the last 200 meters.
Yeah, significant work. It's Reynolds of Jamaica who has the advantage. Blucher of Guyana in second. Chanel Thomas of St. Kitts and Nevis in third. The Barbadian Bryant not out of it yet, and she is rallying as they hit the straightaway. The Grenadian is also finishing with a flourish, Annalisa Brown, and it's going to be a bang-up finish for the automatic positions. Reynolds wins it. Going to be tight for second. The Grenadian gets there ahead of Deschanel Thomas of St. Kitts and Nevis. Tremendous finish coming from Annalisa Brown of Grenada to snatch second position and secure her place into the final.
Ran a heart out there for her country, securing a spot in the final, 217.35. Comfortable qualification for the Jamaican champion.
The crowd loving the performance from the Grenadian. Blucher of Guyana was in a qualifying position for a long way in this race, but couldn't hold on down the stretch.
At this point in the race, it looks as though the Barbadian Bryant is the one who's going to be making the move. You see her picking up the pace here and coming to take on her two counterparts from St. Kitts and Nevis and Guyana. But in fact, it's going to be Annalisa coming from Grenada down the home straight. And she comes through for that position place in the next round.
Leaving a lot in the gas for the last 100. Reynolds 217.35, Brown 219.11, that personal best. Thomas 219.52, a PB as well. Blucher at 220.45 does enough to qualify, as does Shanicia Bryant of Barbados at 2 minutes 20.88. So the top five from that semi-final joining the three automatic qualifiers from the first semi-final through to the final of the under-17 girls 800 meters.
Brian knocks her compatriot Dania Skeet out of contention. Skeet was in that bubble position coming into this heat.
On the 17 boys 400 qualifying coming up, scheduled for 10:16. It's now 15 minutes after 10 local time, so bang on schedule here at the 2024 Carifta Games. Once again, two semi-final races, top three from each, plus the next two best on times to advance to the final. 151.79 the record, 2011 Gerard Mason, Barbados. There's Keandre Kelly of Jamaica, fastest in this field. Carlos Bryson Keynes, St. Martin in the lineup as well. So too the Trinidadian Corday Lewis. Beautiful, beautiful country, Grenada. Here's the lineup. Semi-final one. Kaim Liebert, Corday Lewis, Keandre Kelly, Carlos Bryson, Andriel Mitchell, Robertson Valerius, Alex DeVoe, and Shagarian Mills. 3 sets of twins in the Trinidad and Tobago setup. And the Lewis twins, one of them, we're about to see Corday. We've already seen the Vincent twins.
Yet to see the Fredericks.
We'll see them in 200 semi-final action later on. Up they go for the first semi-final on the 17 boys 800 meters. And the Jamaican Kelly goes out quickly. Adriel Mitchell of Grenada also with a fast start. And those two separate themselves with St. Lucia's Alex DeVoe coming through as well.
Just 2 athletes in this field with listed times under 2 minutes. Those being Kelly of Jamaica and Brisson of St. Martin. At the moment, though, it's behind Kelly, DeVoe of St. Lucia, and Mitchell of Grenada making the running as they are about to take the bell. DeVoe, the cousin of Alexandra Johnson, who is competing for St. Lucia in the girls' pole vault.
Kelly of Jamaica with the advantage. Mitchell of Grenada now being passed by Carlos Bryson Keynes of St. Martin. And Bryson Keynes joins the Jamaican with 300 meters to go. Mitchell of Grenada still in business. DeVoe of St. Lucia also there. Top 3 to advance automatically to the final. The Grenadian pushing his way to the front here. This is a strong performance from him. Only 3 short to go through. And there are 5 boys there with a really good shot of advancing. The Grenadian picks up the pace ever so slightly. Adriel Mitchell. Kelly of Jamaica sits in second still. Carlos Bryson Keynes is in 3rd position. Curaçao's Valerius is also coming through. Down the home stretch they come. Mitchell. Valerius tries to come through for Curaçao on the inside. Kelly of Jamaica gets left in 3rd. Bryson Keynes fighting for an automatic spot. Valerius and Mitchell. Mitchell gets it ahead of Valerius. And then the Jamaican Kelly finishing in 3rd. 2:03:45 on the clock. Mitchell of Grenada takes the win in the first semi-final of the under-17 boys 800 meters. Valerius of Curaçao got the 2nd automatic spot. There he is. He went to the line with the Grenadian, and I think Keandre Kelly of Jamaica held off Carlos Bryson Keynes of St. Martin.
A couple of athletes here running very close to their personal best in the opening round and setting themselves up nicely for the final.
Oh, here's another look at it with 120 meters to go. 5 of them all in with a shot. The St. Lucian DeVoe still had a chance here, but he didn't seem to have the speed coming home. Kelly of Jamaica, Mitchell of Grenada, Valerius of Curaçao pumping on the inside. Bryson Keynes of St. Martin on the outside. The Curaçao athlete going to the line with Mitchell, and Mitchell leaning in to get the victory. Very good semi-final race.
Lots of intrigue in the 800 always. Just enough time for the race to develop.
Here are the times.
Yeah, we see it in the 2 minutes 0.72, 2 minutes 0.73 for Mitchell and Valerius. Very, very close there at the line. Kelly 201.42, just out leaning Bryson 201.46, Lewis 203.50, and DeVoe 204.49. So Bryson and Lewis will be sweating it out to see what happens in heat number 2.
Second semi-final coming up in the under-17 boys 800 meters. Well, the Kitishans are here. That must be the flag man.
And they brought all the flags. From Bastaire, they brought every flag they've got.
He has brought every flag. There is a Kittian in this lineup. Kaimarna Newton. He'll go in lane number 1. There's a Guyanese as well. And he's the fastest in the field. Kaidan Prasad will start in 3. Here's the full lineup. Newton of St. Kitts and Nevis. Ruben Roten of Martinique. Prasad of Guyana. Alejandro Palma, Jamaica. Jaden Moss of the Bahamas. Brian Scott of Trinidad and Tobago. Jalen St. Louis of Grenada. And Ali Eliasu of the Turks and Caicos Islands. 2 athletes have run under 156 in this lineup. Prasad of Guyana and Palma of Jamaica. The Jamaican can be inconsistent. Let's see what Modi turns up here in. The Grenadians, high on confidence. Jalen St. Louis will go in 7 for them. There's the Trinidad and Tobago athlete, Brian Scott. The Trini Shrishkanzaraja won in Kingston over 1,500 meters. Gosh, he was exciting to watch.
Unfortunately, he did not compete last year, but is back again this year. We will see him later on in the games.
There is Alejandro Palma. On paper, the favorites, Prasad of Guyana, Palma of Jamaica.
But this is qualifying. Anything can happen. We have seen some interesting races so far in these first 3 heats. 2 for the under-17 girls and 1 so far for the under-17 boys. Some very intriguing races.
Yeah, and for a lot of these athletes, depending on where you are based, they're at just completely different stages of their respective seasons, and that can impact what happens out there on the track as well. As Prasad bounces out, already looks like tremendous quality, and we know that based on his time. Roten of Martinique tries to go with him. And the Bahamian stepping forward as well, Jaden Moss. He's in 2nd position behind Prasad. Roten in 3rd for Martinique. The Grenadian also coming through, and that's Jalen St. Louis. Nice tall figure. Alejandro Palma of Jamaica comes forward on the outside as well. They know this has the potential to be another really tight semi-final. The favorite Prasad now being passed, and Alejandro Palma, the Jamaican, surges to the front as they go through the first 400 meters in just about 1 minute. The Jamaican taking on this semi-final. The Bahamian, Moss in 2nd, Prasad of Guyana in 3rd. Grenada St. Louis still in with a shot of getting through to this final. He's in 4th position. They want to make this race quick, and Alejandro Palma is doing just that. Kaidan Prasad steps forward now for Guyana. Moss of the Bahamas still holding an automatic position. He's in 4th. Look for St. Louis of Grenada to come rushing at the finish. Prasad now takes control of this semi-final and hammers down the stretch. Palmer of Jamaica in 2nd, but he's in danger. The Grenadian and the Bahamian tussling and fighting. Prasad wins ahead of Palmer. That's where it was expected to be. And the Trinbagonian, Brian Scott, comes flying at the finish to take the 3rd and final automatic qualifying spot. It was almost a fight between Jaden Moss of the Bahamas and Jalen St. Louis of Grenada. And the Trinbagonian, Brian Scott, said, well, thank you very much. I'll take the automatic spot. You can fight for 4th. 159.81 for one of the gold medal favorites, Kaidan Prasad of Guyana.
Prasad, a Linden man, he ran the 400 yesterday, made the final. Placed 6th in the final. Would have been perhaps reviewing his race a little bit after seeing his compatriots winning gold in the subsequent events. But you see him just pulling away here. showing off that 400-meter speed, coming around confidently to take the first heat and then doing a little bit of a celebration at the end. Looks around, make sure that all is well.
Another Guyanese, Sean Booker, won 1500 on the 20 bronze last year in the Bahamas. Prasad, every bit of as confident, if not more, than Sean Booker was. Here are the final times. 1:59.81 for Prasad, 2:01.12 for Palmer, 2:01.94 for Scott. Jaden St. Louis gets through at 2:02.19. And from the first semi-final, Carlos Bryce-Canes, the Jamaican-based St. Martin athlete, will also advance to the final. So 4 from the first semi-final, 4 from the second semi-final. And Terry finished there. We now get to one of the events I am really looking forward to. The 800s for under 20 girls. 2 semi-finals, top 3 plus the next 2 best times to advance to the final. The championship record held by Natoya Gould at 2:05.90. The athletes have been sent to their marks.
Step back, everybody.
This heat.
Eastman from Trinidad and Tobago. Michelle Smith, one of the outstanding athletes of these games the past couple of years from the US Virgin Islands, and they're off.
Yeah, they're away for the 800 meters semi-final 1 for the under 20 girls. Eastman of Trinidad and Tobago, Smith of the US Virgin Islands, Kitania Headley of Jamaica, Layla Haynes, last year silver medalist, Jasmine Mackey of the Bahamas, was 5th last year. Hannah Charles of Antigua and Barbuda ran a personal best over 1,500 meters last night to finish in 6th position. Francesca Henry of Grenada is also in the lineup. The defending champion is Michelle Smith of the US Virgin Islands. She's in this field. So too is last year's silver medalist Layla Haynes of Barbados. Last year's 1,500 champion Layla Haynes decided against contesting the 1,500 here. And the field has been led by the Jamaican Kitania Headley, who has run 2 minutes 08.99. This is a real cracking lineup. Michelle Smith is the fastest in the field. She has gotten 2:07.95, the USVI national record holder. Top 3 sure to go through, and Kitania Headley of Jamaica knows that this is a really hot semi-final, and so she's taken on the race. Trinidad and Tobago's Natalia Eastman is in 2nd position, running well above what we have seen from her. Layla Haynes loves to come fast at the finish. Michelle Smith, tremendous at 400 hurdles as well. Steps forward now for the US Virgin Islands. But Kitania Headley is well clear. The top 3 sure to go through. The Jamaican has a massive advantage. Michelle Smith, the defending champion, in 2nd. She's just looking to qualify. Layla Haynes of Barbados in 3rd. The Antiguan athlete is also coming through. Hannah Charles, she's trying to surprise here. So too is the Trinidad and Tobago athlete, Natalia Eastman. Kitania Headley will be safe. Only 3 will advance. Smith comes through into 2nd position. Headley wins it. Smith qualifies in 2nd. Layla Haynes in 3rd. Hannah Charles comes through in 4th. Eastman in 5th. I think a lot of these girls will have a chance of being in the final. And remember that Michelle Smith also has the 800 meter, the 400 meter hurdles later on today. And so would not want to exert more than she needs to in 800 qualifying. The Jamaican Kitania Headley, though, ensured she had no issues with getting through to the final.
I tell you, plenty of intrigue in the 800s. Michelle Smith, such a marvelous athlete, such a talented young lady, and she knows that she doesn't want to do too much at this stage of the game. She's going to save it for the finals. We spoke earlier, she's here with her mother. You also have Layla Haynes opting out of the 1500 and deciding instead to go with the 800 meters, thinking her chances are perhaps a little bit better there. Both of them advancing in straightforward fashion. But the leader in this section of the 800 meters under 20 girls. Kitania Headley in confirmation of a time there, 2 minutes 12.46 seconds. Smith 2:15.85. Haynes 2:16.32, and Charles on the bubble 2:16.44, along with Eastman 2:17.09.
Well, we haven't heard from Gerard Marsili in a while. Let's hear what he's up to.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ricardo. And I'm here with the Javelin under-20 champion, Tasha Stubbs of the Bahamas, throwing a distance of 50.94 meters in her third attempt. Tasha, how happy are you with your performance?
Extremely, really. Coming out here, I know I've prepared for this. I prepared to, throw a huge PB and go home with the gold. But above all, I just want to thank God, my coaches, for preparing me and my family, for preparing me for this moment and being able to come out there and execute it.
Yeah, you actually threw the record. It turned out to be a foul at the point, but were you a little bit disappointed with that?
I was. The last throw, I wanted to put my all and more in it, and I felt as though I did that, but I fouled it. So next time.
All right, thank you so much. I'm gonna head back upstairs as the under 20 girls continue with the 800 meters.
Yeah, they're away for the second semifinal, another cracking semifinal in this event. It includes last year's bronze medalist Victoria Gourier of Haiti. She's run as fast as 2:06.56 this year and comes into this as the fastest in the field. It also has the Toya Harvey of Guyana, who didn't run the 1,500 meters, so she comes down to 800. The Jamaican Monique Stewart is there, a 2:08.86 performer. Kaylee Ford, the 1,500 bronze medalist from Trinidad and Tobago. Ashlyn Simmons, last year's under-17 champion from Barbados. This is another terrific lineup.
Yeah, this one should be really good to watch. Differing tactics. We see Harvey trying to step up at the moment. The race being led at the moment by Monique Stewart and Carrie Roberts.
Monique Stewart with the advantage, the Jamaican. Coming through Gourier now of Haiti. She's in splendid form. And after a bronze medal last year, she comes in here feeling that she has the quality to win the gold medal.
The Gourier sisters based in New York, they also very strong academically and both fine athletes.
Have to be strong academically to go to Yale. Gourier in second position. Monique Stewart with the advantage. Atoya Harvey in third. The top three sure to go through to the final. And Stewart knows the danger posed by Gourier and others in this field, and so they've separated themselves from the rest. The 800 final set for Monday, so they know they'll have enough time to recover. Monique Stewart holding off Gourier. Real focused here, the Jamaican. And she comes away from Gourier to win the semifinal. And that is really quick, just outside 2:09, with Atoya Harvey coming through in third position, the final automatic qualifying place. And finishing in fourth, the Bahamian Akari Roberts. She'll have to wait and see if her time is better than 2 minutes 17.04. But 2:10.05 for Stewart, the fastest in qualifying. And that looked very, very impressive.
Brilliant run from her.
There's Gourier finishing in second position. She knows she has more in the tank as well, saving that for the final on Monday. I think this is going to be a terrific final. I think it could turn out to be one of the races of Carifta.
Pushed hard by Guerrier. You see Atoya at the back there, the young Guyanese opting not to get involved because she knows that top three will advance and she feels fairly comfortable with where she is. I think she has a lot more in her.
Stewart winning ahead of Gourier, and Atoya Harvey of Guyana finishing in third position. Harvey has already won 4 medals in her Carifta career, and she's looking to add to that in 2024. There's confirmation the top three, Stuart, Gourier, and Harvey. Jamaica, Haiti, and Guyana safely into the final. Akari Roberts of Bahamas at 2:14.75 gets in as well, as does Kaylee Ford of Trinidad and Tobago at 2 minutes 15.92. 2:15.96, very fast from Simmons as well, but that's not good enough to advance. Hannah Charles of Antigua, despite another personal best, 2:16.44, will not get into the final herself. So real high quality in the under 20 girls 800 meters, and we'll have a blockbuster of a final wherever you are across the Caribbean. You'll want to tune in for that on Monday. Just qualifying in the under 20 boys to come for us to close this morning session.
We'll have all three of our medalists from last year going up against a very, very classy field. So it's going to be a super final in the 800 under 20 women, but I'm expecting as well an amazing final in the under 20 men.
Following the 800 races, the long jump final for under 20 boys likely to take center stage. That seems to be the case on every Sunday morning edition of Carifta, as the 800 athletes make their way out on the boys' side. We'll have 3 semi-final races. Carifta record 1 minute 48.95, set in 1987 by Kenroy Levy of Jamaica, one of the longest standing records here at the Carifta Games.
I think the longest standing record.
Probably
Well,
right.
the longest standing breakable record. We have records from the 70s for the 3000 steeplechase and for the different weighted javelin implement. But in terms of records that are still up for grabs,
There's
Kenroy
confirmation of
Levy.
the record mark as we get ready for the first semi-final. Rayshon Harris of St. Lucia, Kamaria Bygrave, the 1500 champion from Jamaica, Jafela Sylvester of Suriname, Zion Miller of the Bahamas, and Jamal Sullivan of Guyana. Top two sure to be in the final. There's the Surinamese, Jafela Sylvester, a 156 flat operator. Well, we know the Guyanese have been good, and so every time you see one on the track, you expect a big personal best. 3 gold medals last night, 2 in the 400s at the under 20 level, and Hinkson in the under 17 100. There's Kamaria Bygrave. Last night won his first ever Carifta medal, and it was gold over 1500 meters. Very good quarter miler, 47.54 at his best. Has run in a Jamaican high school championship 400 final, even though the 800 is his best event. There's the St. Lucian.
Rayshon Harris
Has gone below 2 minutes, but needs a big PB to factor in this semi-final. They are sent on their way, and the Kamaria Bygrave steps up to the front. The St. Lucian. Harris tracks him well, and they all comfortably head down the back straight away, with Guyana's Jamal Sullivan stepping into second position now. The Bahamian Zion Miller running on the outside of lane number 1 as he shifts into third position, with Bygrave comfortable at the top. Bygrave has run personal bests at 400 and 1500 this year, but he hasn't run a personal best at 800 meters yet, surprisingly, because it's his best event, the 800. 47.54 for 400, 3:57.34 for 1500. His 800 PB is 1 minute 50.20, and that was done last year, 2023. He takes the Guyanese with him. Miller of Barbados in third. Only 2 are short to be in the final, so a lot to chase here, and they're all in with a shout, I think. Top three separating themselves now. Miller moves into second. Guyana's Sullivan back in third. Miller now challenges Bygrave. Sullivan, I don't think, is quite done yet. Bygrave looks across at Miller to his right. Sullivan is still trying to charge. The Jamaican trying to control this. Looks left, looks right, and gets through qualifying at 1:55.53. Kamaria Bygrave ahead of Zion Miller of Bahamas, with Sullivan of Guyana finishing in third position. He'll have to wait and see if his time is good enough. 1:55.56 for the 1500 champion Kamaria Bygrave, looking for the Carifta double.
Fabulous run from Bygrave, but I think the Guyanese will be happy with his time and satisfied that he is likely to be in that final. I can't see the second semi-final being that much quicker than this one. The second and third.
Here's another look at the closing stages. Bygrave of Jamaica, 3-4-2, controlling things. Zion Miller of the Bahamas holding his qualifying position well, with a charging Sullivan of Guyana taking third. And now we await the time for Jamal Sullivan, because that will be the leading bomber time heading into the second semi-final. 1:55.56, 1:55.66 for Miller of the Bahamas. Sullivan 1:55.73, and also on the bomber Sylvester 1:57.10. But I can't see that 1:57.10 making it into this under 20 final.
Will hold up, no.
One semi-final out the way for the under 20 boys, 800 meters. 5 more competitors set to go for semi-final 2.
Some of the athletes in the 800 would have gone in the 400 yesterday. Some would have run the 1500. For others, this would be their first competition at this event. Kites flying in the Caribbean.
Long jump final coming up for the under 20 boys. Kareem Street Thompson has the record, 7.94 meters, as both the under 17 and the under 20 records at Carifta. And there's the lineup: Shaquin Toussaint of Grenada, Ricoy Hunter, Jamaica, Robert Stewart, Bahamas, Rodel Green of Guyana, Kimani Kent of Trinidad and Tobago, Joquan Richardson of Anguilla, Bernard Kim of the Bahamas, great name to have as a Bahamian jumper, Lucas Montebord of Martinique, Raven Walkin of Turks and Caicos, he's also in the octathlon, Michael Campbell of Grenada, Robert Marcus of Guyana, Kamani Bell of the U.S. Virgin Islands, Tian Haynes of Barbados, and Jaidi James of Trinidad and Tobago. Competition in the second round, we have a look at competitor 525 from Trinidad and Tobago, Kimani Kent. .37 in the opening round for him. Let's see if he can get an improvement in round number 2.
Total of 14 athletes involved in this event. So after 3 jumps, 606 for Kent. After 3 rounds, they'll be cutting it down to the top 8. The top 8 will have 3 further jumps.
Jaquan Richardson of Anguilla fouled on his first attempt. The lead being held by the Bahamian Kent. 7.20 in the opening round. This is Jaquan Richardson. If he wants to make it into the top 8, needs to get a quality mark here. Here is Richardson of Anguilla. Should get the white flag there and will register a mark. I don't think it's a big one, but it's a mark nonetheless as we see the leader bouncing up the runway. 608 for the Anguillan Richardson. Now Bernard Kemp of the Bahamas, the leader. 7.20 in the opening round for the Bahamas.
Kemp coming in with the best jump of 7.11 meters. But we turn our attention to the 800, heat number 2 momentarily.
The blanks did not go off. It struck the blank, but it did not go off. So put up the green flag.
Here's the lineup. Nathan Langley of the US Virgin Islands, Yashane Bourne of Jamaica, D'Angelo Brown of Grenada, Jonathan Lynch of the British Virgin Islands, Jaffa Woodley of Trinidad and Tobago, and Aaron Morris of Barbados. Second semi-final, under 20 boys, 800 meters. The Jamaican held his hand up at the last minute, and now there is a recall. Yashane Bowen put in a tremendous last 100 meters to snatch second at the Carifta trials. Barely made his way onto the plane. Now, I made the point yesterday that once you go into that set position, you're not allowed to do that. But remember, yesterday, it was done in the 400 meters, and the athlete was given a warning and allowed to continue. So it's going to be a green card in line with consistency. Consistent application of discretion. Second semi-final for the under 20 boys, 800 meters. Kamario Bygrave of Jamaica and Zion Miller of the Bahamas already automatically into the final. Away they go for the second semi-final. Langley, US Virgin Islands, Bowen, Jamaica, Brown, Grenada, Lynch, British Virgin Islands, Woodley of Trinidad and Tobago, and Morris of Barbados. Aaron Morris of Barbados joins Bowen of Jamaica. Bowen wants to be at the front, and so he steps up the pace ever so slightly, gets himself in comfortable running position, with the Barbadian sitting in second position.
Trinidad and Tobago, rather, 8 medals, 4 silver, 4 bronze. Grenada, 1 and 3 bronze to bring them to 4. St. Kitts and Nevis, they have 1. Aruba also with 1, both of them silver medals. So the boys for the octathlon are getting ready to hit the high jump bend, but we leave you here for now. And as you see the picturesque beauty of Grenada, St. George's, the carénage there, we say goodbye to you for now. You will see you in about 2.5 hours. Don't miss it. We'll be back with more action from the Karate James Stadium here in Grenada.
That broadcast was brought to you by the Jamaica Tourist Board. Come back to the vibe that comes alive in Jamaica and Malta.